Welcome to another edition of Tech Bites. My name is Prestine Parton, and I am the Technology Director for Southwest REC. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you Wakelet, which is a wonderful collaboration tool and even just an organizing tool for yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And as I mentioned, I'm having a few little difficulties here, so please bear with me. All right, so not the best way for me to share, but this is what I'm going to be dealing with, so we're just going to go with it. So, all right, make sure what you're seeing is what I mean for you to see. Yep, okay. So we are going to ride the Wakelet wave. And if you haven't used Wakelet before, I'm hoping that I can convince you how wonderful this tool is, because it really is a great tool. So Wakelet, if you haven't used it before, this is a really, really great tool. And here is my agenda. I am hoping to get through all of these. I get pretty excited and sometimes don't get through my entire agenda because I have so much that I want to share with you. So I want to be able to share with you how to create a collection in Wakelet. I want to show you the different layouts that you can use. Wakelet has some amazing templates, so you don't have to invent the wheel. You can get started with some of their templates, and then as you get comfortable with it, then you can go ahead and start tweaking some of their templates, and then eventually starting out from scratch. We're going to learn how to invite collaborators and how to use Wakelet in the classroom. And then show you that there are some Wakelet apps that you can use as well. We are going to go through the collections, and that is what they call their groupings of different things. And so this is where the power starts. So the power of Wakelet resides in their collections, which are just spaces where you save and organize your content. You can create collections on any topic that you want. So they can be images, they can be text, they can be a PDF file, tweets, a flip video, YouTube videos. You can pull files from OneDrive or Google Drive. It's really nice because it's not specific to one particular platform. And so often you will get a program that you love, but it's only for Google or it's only for Microsoft. And this is so versatile. You can use it with so many different things. You can incorporate Canva images in here. So it's really, really nice. You can incorporate websites. You can incorporate so many different things. There are many different types of layouts that you can use with this. And so you will see the different layouts, a media layout. And I'm going to tell you just a little bit about these. So a media layout is going to be useful for everything like storytelling. It's going to offer a linear display of items. And then the compact layout is going to be it's going to condense your items. So if you have a lot of information in your collection, then the compact layout might be a little bit easier to view. And so it will really condense things a lot for you. The grid layout is going to offer you kind of a bird's eye view that lets you compare, contrast, and analyze your items. A mood board, this one's kind of fun because this is going to be for content that infuses various types of media. So you might have some screenshots in here of things that you like and some videos, some different tweets, text, links, different things of that nature. And so I've seen some mood boards where people will save things that they like for a presentation, and maybe it's a font that they like or a background image that they really like, that the way that it came across on a presentation. So there's some really neat mood boards out there. Then the column layout is really nice too. This is going to be, it's really good for like discussion boards. Group projects are really good in this layout. People will use Wakelet for planning trips and their itineraries. And so it's really good for a structure like that. It kind of reminds me of Padlet, the way that Padlet does things in a column layout. So that one's good for that. And templates, as I mentioned, they have tons of templates. And so you don't have to try to invent the wheel. They have tons of templates, and I will give you that resource at the end so that you will be able to use this as well. So I always post the videos and the resources. This PowerPoint will be posted so that you can use this, all the resources that I have so that you can have access to that. And so the templates are going to be organized so that you have the different lesson plan templates, newsletter templates, entry and exit tickets. They have icebreakers. They have a template for portfolios and resumes. They have some that are student focused, some that are librarian focused, and so much more. They're always adding to them. So really, really nice area where all these templates can be found. Collaboration is one of the main features for Wakelet. And so you can invite others. You can invite your fellow co-workers, you can invite teachers, and of course your students. You can invite your students to join in. And so you can have these collections and you can start adding items. It's very simple. It's very easy. You can give them a code. You can use a QR code to join in. You can use a link. You can email it to them. You can have a Wakelet handle, and you're going to see what that is here in just a minute. And of course, lots of ways to use Wakelet in the classroom. So here's a few ideas. So you can create a digital newsletter for your class. So students can create digital portfolios to record their ongoing learning digital portfolios. This really empowers students. They can have a voice, they can track their learning progress over a period of time. They really find a lot of power in this. As students become aware of how their learning progresses, then they take ownership of their learning and they develop these lifelong learning skills that we want them to have. Formative assessment. You can use Wakelet to conduct formative assessment, and you could instruct students to create two types of collections. So maybe it's what I have learned collection, and maybe there's another one that's what I found difficult to learn. And so you can both learn from this. Students can use each of these collections to add feedback and then reflections. So you can both learn from this as well. So maybe you find a pattern in your teaching style that maybe there's something that you need to teach a little bit differently, that a lot of students maybe are not getting a particular concept, and you can learn from that as well. So for instance, feedback can be in the form of videos. So you might use a flip video, audio recordings, podcasts. You can do some write-ups in Google Docs or just a Word document. Maybe you can do an interactive visual. So lots of different ways that you can do this, and you can monitor this as a teacher. You can monitor the student contributions, analyze their feedback, and then provide the required help as needed. Kids can go in and they can give feedback to each other, and students love to be able to share this with each other, not just for the teacher's eyes. So it's important to be able to have this, what they've worked so hard on, to be seen by others, not just the teacher. The next bullet point is teacher-parent communication. As a teacher, you spend more time with these students than the parents do a lot of times. And so it's a great way to establish communication with the parents and involve them in the learning that's taking place in and out of the classroom. So you can share this with them, the kids' work and their accomplishments. For instance, you can share with them the portfolio collections or their class collections and allow them to keep track of how their kids are performing academically. Flipped learning. So there's some things that you can put in here, and it's practical, so they can use Wakelet to learn at home and do some of the things at home. And then when they get into class, you can take some of the things that they did at home and continue the learning as they get into the classroom with some of the activities that they started at home, and then continue on right there in the classroom. have those discussions on the things that they did at home and practice what they learned from home. Digital literacy and digital citizenship. There is a student ambassador program with Wakelet, and you can help your students learn about digital citizenship and develop key digital skills. The program consists of fun tasks and activities, and it focuses on 6 areas: creativity, critical thinking, curation, communication, citizenship, and collaboration. You might have heard this as the 5 C's or the 6 C's. So students can earn badges for each task that they complete, and Wakelet awards them an official certificate once they complete the program. Digital storytelling, students can create collections to recount stories using resources that they designed or curate from the web. The media layout is ideal for this activity, and that linear display is easy to navigate, and it provides students with a digital space where they order their events along a sequential or chronological order, so it's a little timeline for them. And professional development. Wakelet collections provide great professional development opportunities for teachers and educators. And for instance, teachers can collaborate with each other to curate digital resources around things to help them grow professionally, such as teaching tips, best educational technology practices in and outside of the classroom, networking and conferences, training and workshops, and many, many more items can fall into that category. There is a Wakelet page of educators' technology, and these contain tons of professional development resources to check out as well. And of course, as I mentioned, there is an app that you can get as well. So there is an app for Apple, Google, and even Amazon has gotten into the Wakelet wave. So you can get these through any of these different ways. And it's just a great, great way to be able to incorporate the Wakelet app. And so it's nice whenever you have it on your computer, you can save websites and things just straight off of there and right into your Wakelet account. And so it is free. There is a new version that they just have put out, and I haven't even looked at it because everything I've done all these years that I've used Wakelet has been free. And so I haven't even looked at the district version that they want to charge you for, but it looks like it's so that you can have classrooms and be able to offer it as a classroom set, make it a little bit easier. But everything I've ever done, I've done as the free version. So when I'm going to show you this other part, I'm going to focus on the free version because I have not honestly used the actual classroom part of it because it's new and I haven't had a chance to use that part yet. So what I'm going to show you, like I said, is going to be just the free version. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Again, this PowerPoint will be made available for you to have these resources that I'm going to share with you. So don't worry, you'll have access to that. All right, let me get some of this other stuff in here. So it's super easy for you to get started. I want to make sure you're seeing what I want you to be seeing here. Yes. All right. So when you get started, you can see that it's very easy to get right into an account. You can have, if you're a Google environment at your school, you can continue with Google, Microsoft. If you're Microsoft 365, there's lots of ways to do this. If you have Clever in your school environment, you can sign up with Clever. So lots of ways that you can do this. I got started so many years ago that I just used my personal account instead of my school account. So I actually went into a personal account. So you're going to see me switch back and forth on here because I do have my school, my personal Gmail account so that as I switched from my school district to my REC, I was able to transfer it that way. But you can see it's super, super easy to just get connected with your school or a personal account, and it is all free. There is an extension that you can add right into your browser, and it makes it very, very easy. to do to be able to connect everything into it. And so when you go into Wakelet, I really like the way they have this set up. One platform, infinite possibilities. So when you're looking at this, you can click on each of these and it'll give you a little sample of what this might look like. So this is what a newsletter might look like. If you wanted a lesson plan, it kind of gives you some little ideas of what it would look like before you even get into the account. So I really like the way they have set this up. And you can kind of look at each of these. These are students submitting these assignments. And so you can see how the kids can go in and look at each other's and be able to share with each other. So that's really important for kids. They love to be able to show off what they've done. And it's not just for the teacher's eyes, it's for each other. And they love to be able to share. All right, so you can sign up and it's very easy. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you're in. I'm gonna, duplicate there. So this is my account, but without signing in, this is what my account would look like to someone else. And so remember I told you about the Wakelet handle. So my handle is right there at P. Parton. And so if someone had my information, they could come, they could follow my Wakelets, my collections, and they could go in and they could see these. So if I gave them my code, they could come in and see this particular Wakelet. And I talked about the templates that Wakelet has. So this is the link that I have in the resources for templates. And you're going to see they have them categorized here so that you can get to all of these different categories. And again, don't reinvent the wheel. They have so many things already set up for you. So newsletters, lesson plans, resource lists, they have so many already in here. So I'm going to just show you some of these before we jump in and just create a collection ourselves. But they have so many already in here so that you can get started without trying to figure it out on your own. It's just easy just to have a little template and you can just create. So here's a newsletter. And so here's all the little pieces of a Wakelet. And it tells you right here, add an introduction here or use a flip integration. So you could put a flip video right here. And here you could put an announcement. Here you could add links, a PDF, video. So it's telling you what to put in each of these little boxes for a newsletter. This one is going to be a lesson plan. So here's the lesson, the subject, the topic. You could put it right there. And if you'll notice, there's Immersive Reader built right in. So if you haven't used Immersive Reader is fantastic. In fact, on our YouTube channel, we've done a very quick, our lunch and learns are up to 30-minute little videos. And we've done one on Immersive Reader. So it will read that out loud to them. Here's your objectives. And then if you have some resources, some materials, you can add a link, a website link. Here's a National Geographic link. So it gives you some little step-by-step and helps you just to build it right there. So these templates are great. Meet the student. Wouldn't this be great at the beginning of the year? They can introduce themselves, a little bit about them. And of course, this is going to be a little bit for a younger student, but you know, they can get a little bit better whenever they get older. You can modify this. A yearbook. I would love to have had this when I was still in the classroom. What a great idea. And then by the end of the year, you have contributed to these collections. And at the end of the year, everyone has this great yearbook of different things that you guys have done, the field trips that you have gone on, different things, funny things that have happened in the year. What a great collection that would be. Of course, some of the things that my kids would have put in there is like, remember when Mrs. Parton had the fabric softener sheet on her dress? Of course, they didn't tell me this till the end of the day. They didn't bother to tell me that in the morning. No, they let me wear that fabric softener sheet all day. So that would have gone in my yearbook. So, and this one looks a little more higher ed, more like a professor in a college course. But of course, you can modify this. But a syllabus, all the things that you could put in here for a syllabus, things that you would want them to know. So you can put something like that into a Wakelet. This is weekly task lists. Now, we did a book study here at the Southwest REC on the productivity challenge, I believe is what a productivity project. And they talked about the big three, and basically every day, what are the three things that you must accomplish today? And this would have been perfect for that. So that one had to go into my favorites right there. And class directory. So if you wanted to get to know your class, and these of course would be for your older kids, probably would definitely be better off. You can introduce yourself and ask the kids to introduce one thing about them and introduce themselves. A planner, to-do list, and notepad. So these are those columns that those different layouts that we had talked about. So these would be columns that would be nice on that. So this is the one that I said reminded me of Padlet a little bit, where you could do those in columns. Here's a lesson plan, again, in column format. A to-do list, again, in column format. So you can see different layouts here. I heard someone talk about this being like a Pinterest for teachers. So I guess when you see it in different viewpoints. This one would be more for staff, where you could kind of have like a bulletin board, I guess, for staff in a sense. Librarians could really get into this as well, have different book type things. You're going to see another one with books here later on. So maybe you keep track of the books that you want to read, what you are reading, books that you have read. I'm a reader. I had a language arts endorsement, and taught language arts as well as computer classes. So you're going to see a lot of book related things in here. If you're doing research for a project, then you can have these different types of things in here that you might want to be putting into collections as you're building a project. And students too would really benefit from this as they're doing a research project. They keep track of the different things that they are finding as they're building a research project. Building a lesson or a project. Here's another way that you can be working on that. What about new staff? Here's an onboarding welcome pack. You could do different things that you might need. So you might have some documents that they would need. Maybe if you were in the HR area, you might need different documents, such as their I-9 forms and their bank deposit, direct deposit forms and things like that. So different things, meet the team. Maybe it's a grade level information on the different teachers they might work with, different things like that. So that would be kind of a fun thing to do with your new teachers. I told you there'd be some more books. So here's some categorizing them into different genres. Here's another class newsletter. So this would be a great way to help you stay up to date with your parents. You could give them what is going on in each of your subjects in your classroom, different dates and events, different things that are going on this week. I know with when I taught in the elementary level, I would have to remind the kids, remember Tuesday is PE, don't wear your Spice Girl boots today, don't, different things like that. So you have some different things, projects that are due, some different things there. So newsletters are great with Wakelet. Exit tickets. Entry tickets before your kids leave. When I was at the secondary level, I would have the kids give me an exit ticket. Name 2 things that you learned out of today's lesson. And entry tickets, tell me what you remember from yesterday's lesson, because they might be able to tell you when they leave, but the next day it's important that they remembered what they learned yesterday. So they might be able to repeat something that they heard just 15 minutes ago, but the next day, did they remember it? So entry and exit tickets, that would be important too. All right. So with that extension I was telling you about that you can put on your browser, this is what that looks like when you have that extension in there. So it kind of changes what your new page looks like. And so this is something that's really kind of cool. Maybe it's just me, but do you ever find yourself with like a lot of tabs open at one time? And then you're like, oh, holy cow, what am I going to do with all these tabs? Because I need all of them open, but my computer says I have an update and I'm going to have to shut down my computer. Maybe it's just me, but I happen to do this a lot. So it's telling me all of these open tabs that I have over here. Well, I can actually make a collection with all of these open tabs, and then I can return to them. And I'm going to show you if it doesn't make a liar out of me. And it might, because I'm not signed in on this one. I'll have to wait till I move from my other screen over here. So let me see if I can do that real fast, because I'm signed into my account over here. So this is my account now that I'm signed in. So I've signed in because I had my account, I've signed in. And so now you can see I've got my little icon. So I know I'm signed in, and I've got some information here that I can use. And these are my collections that I have made. And right here it says spaces. And if I had a district account, that paid for account, I would have classrooms listed there, from what I understand. So I have these different spaces. So I have templates, which when I go in here, those are some of those templates that I went through with you all. So some of the templates that I actually saved. And let me show you how that looks. So if I went into one of these templates and I thought, oh, I really like this one and I want to use it. So I can go right up here to this gear and I can click on it, and I can either save this and it's going to keep that handy for me, or I can click on copy to, and it will put it right into my collections. So I'm going to take the word copy off of here though. I don't like it to say copy on there. And I'm going to say copy. And now if I go into my collections, go back over here and go to my collections, and there it is. So it has copied it for me right into that collection. Now I can do this with any website. And so that's what's really cool about this browser extension that's in here. So this is that page again, now that I'm signed in. So remember over here how it did this? That's because I wasn't signed in, and it just listed all of those right there. Now that I'm signed in, that's what the page looks like. And see all of these open tabs, because I'm a monster like that. I have all of these tabs open over here. But if I needed to turn off my computer and I didn't want to lose all of these, this is really cool. I can create a collection with all of these tabs by clicking this button. And I have to find it now. Go to my collections. Let's see where it put it. It's going to make a liar out of me. Watch this. Okay, let me go back over here now and see if it's there. Maybe it's under bookmarks. Well, doggone it. I was going to wow you with that one. I know it's there. I just can't find it. That's what happens when you have too many things open. Well, okay. Just gonna have to believe me on that one. Okay, that one failed miserably. May wonder if it would put it under here. No. Well, I'll have to play with that one a little bit longer, because that's a new feature that they just added that I found, and I guess I didn't read it well enough. So I apologize. Nothing like a technology person having technological difficulties. So supposedly it was supposed to make a whole collection for you. So I lied. Okay, back to the explanations. Let's go ahead and go back across here. So here's my collection that I already have. So when you first start your account, it's going to be empty. So you're not going to have any collections here. You're going to have to start collections. And so I'm going to start over here though and give you some explanations here. So you can search. And so in the search, this is what yours will look like in the beginning, blank. It's a little lonely. So you can search for things. So let's search for ancient Egypt. And you can find wakelets that other people have done. So you can go in here and you can find different things that people have done, wakelets that people have made, and you can kind of get some ideas. So here's something that has Weebly linked into it. So there's all this information already out here. So you can do all kinds of searches for any topic that you can imagine, and you can find things in there. You can go to explore, and these are going to be kind of what's trending on Wakelet. So of course, right now you have Autism Awareness Week going on. And so you're going to have a lot of things like that go in here. ChatGPT is going to be really popular. So you're going to find a lot of that in here, but you can find a lot of information that is really popular just by going into Explore. And so you can see some of the things that people are going into a lot just by going into the Explore. So it's kind of like a library of the most popular things that are happening right now in Wakelet. So you can go into these, and there it's one of those Chat GPTs. So you can go into some of these and you can look at some of them and see if there's anything that you find interesting, and you can take a look at them. You can even follow these people. And so if you like what you see, you can follow them and you can see some of their other collections that they have. Or if you just want to give them a little thumbs up that you like that particular one, you can do that. And let's see, and then under my library, I can go into bookmarks. And this is something I wanted to share with you. So if I go to I'm just cruising along and I'm looking up stuff. Maybe I'm just on the regular web. I'm not in Wakelet itself, but I'm on the regular web and I'm looking up some different things. Maybe I'm on the History Channel. And I found this on ancient Egypt. And I thought, you know what? I really, really like this. I'm going to use this for that lesson I'm going to do on ancient Egypt. And so if I right click, then let's see, there's an image description. That's not what I was looking for. Let me go farther down into the body of it. So if I right click on this content right here, I now have this right here that says save to Wakelet. That's part of that extension. And so I can click on save to Wakelet, and I can either put it into one of my collections that I already have, or I can just put it as a bookmark. And so I don't have an ancient Egypt collection yet, so I'm just going to bookmark it. And if I had a group project that I was working on with, maybe I'm a student and I'm working on a group project, then I might have something under group collection. But I don't have anything right now, so I'm just going to bookmark it. So lots of options right there. So save it as a bookmark. So any website, or if I was on YouTube and I found a video that I wanted, I could do that as well. So anything that I wanted, I could actually do that. So lots of things, and that's where that app comes in. So if you are on your phone and you found something that you wanted, or if you were on an iPad and you found a video that you wanted, or if there was a PDF even that you liked, or a tweet, anything at all. If you were in Canva, if you like to create graphics in Canva and you created something, Canva integrates with Wakelet. There are so many things that integrate with it. I love that it's so versatile. Any of those things, when you have the app, you can still connect it to your Wakelet account. And so it's all going to be similar, because whenever you connect it with Wakelet, it's all going to kind of marry together nice and neatly. So now if I go back into my collections, there is that history link that I just added to my bookmarks. And so it's in there now. So let's go back in to my home page here. This is all my collections and stuff. So you can see I have different things that I've saved, things that I've started myself. So I've got some things started. And let me show you what these different views are going to look like. I'm going to go back into, this is a good one to show the views. So this is that one that I showed you earlier when I wasn't logged in. And this is the logged in version that I created. So you can see this. So if I go across the top now, well, I didn't finish over here. I guess I should stop and finish that. So we looked at the bookmarks. Collections are going to be the collections I have created. And then shared with me would be things that someone else created and they've asked me to collaborate with. Spaces are going to be a collection of collections, if that makes sense. And so I can put my collections together. So these are those templates that I liked. And so I put them all together into this space. And then this is where I need to organize my collections, because I have a lot of scattered collections and I need to just kind of group them together. So I'm going to organize them into that. So you can see how collections are going to be things that you're making, but then you can kind of group them into categories. All right, so now I can come across the top over here. Okay, now we can go back into this guy. So this is a collection that I've already made, and I've got lots of different websites and tech tools that I like to use. So I've collected them into this area. And so I've got lots of things. I've got Google Docs. I've got different tools in here that I've put in, websites, PDFs. There's just like lots and lots of things in here that I like. Here's a flip video, TeacherTube video. There's lots of things in here. So I put a lot of websites that I use in here. Those places that you don't want to forget about, that's what I put in here. So across the top up here, there's a little paintbrush, and that is going to be your design. And so these layouts that we talked about are listed right here. So the media layout, now you can see how this is going to be more linear. So now it's all in a vertical line. Okay, so it changed my little cards into a linear layout. And then compact, because there's quite a few in there. So if I change it to a compact view, now you can see it's kind of condensed things to where all of that information is still there, but now it's condensed to where I've got smaller pictures so that they can be seen a little bit faster. Now you'll notice whenever I hover over these, you can see these little plus signs. I could actually add more information in there, is what that is. I could add some more. I could also, do you see those little lines, little hamburger lines there? I could move things around as well. So I can move things around if I didn't like the order. I could move them around. I could also go to the three little dots right there. And if I wanted, since it's a big list, I could actually move them quickly to the top, to the bottom. I can move them around that way as well. So lots of options there. All right. The grid view is what we saw before. Okay. So we have that view. It's our grid view, kind of side by side. This one's called the mood board. And that's kind of how I usually have it, just kind of all mismatched around there. I think that one's just, I guess that says something about my mood and my scattered brain. And then the columns. Now this one's not going to look very good because it's all going to show up in one column because I haven't set up any other columns. So that one's just going to be one giant column all the way down. But I could have different columns. So maybe I have one for websites, one for teacher tools, one for ed tech programs. I could set this up differently if I wanted to use the columns. So that kind of gives you an idea of what those different layouts would look like. Let's see which one I wanted. The mood board. That one's kind of fun. So that kind of gives you an idea of what those would look like. So let's create a collection real fast. So let's go back out. This is like our home base here. So we're going to just create a collection real fast. And we'll do one for kids, just for funsies. But I mean, there's private collections. You can just do some for yourself, because that's how I started, was just for myself. And we're just going to do an ancient Egypt, since I got started on that one earlier. So we give it a title and a little description. So right here is our first little card, and we can put a web address in here, or we could have some text. So let's put in some text here, and I'm going to tell them, watch the video and tell me 2 things you wouldn't like about living in ancient times. So you're giving them an activity to do. Okay. And you can see it saved it all by itself. And you can, see that there's some things here that you can do, just like in a Word document. You have some formatting that you can do. So there's some text. And then if I wanted to find a video, let's see. So you can see on this one, I could add a flip video. I could add YouTube. I can do all kinds of different things here. So let's go into YouTube. And all I would have to do right here is search YouTube. Now, of course, you would want to preview these before you gave these to students. And we're going to pretend that I did. So there's a good one for kids. And I'm going to add it right there. And they can watch this right within the Wakelet. They don't have to go out and have the advertisements that are going to be playing on the side. This is going to play right within Wakelet. Okay, so I would want this to be above that, so they would have those instructions. So all I did was just drag that right above there. So now I've got the question. They've got a YouTube video that they're going to watch. And maybe I want let's see, what would I like? Oh, remember I had that bookmark that I found. So I'm going to go into my bookmarks, and there's my ancient Egypt bookmark that I found, and I had put it in my bookmarks for later on. Now's the time I'm going to use it. So I'm going to add that in there. And I'm going to bring this down here. So now I've got that in here. So you can see all you're doing is just building these fun things that you can put together for this lesson. And let's see, I'm gonna add, what else do we want in here? What else? So you can see you can go into Google Drive or OneDrive. If you use Adobe Express, you can add some things from Adobe Express. If you go into pictures, this is really nice too. You can do Canva. If you've designed something from Canva, you can use GIFs. So here's Giphy in here. I wonder if they have anything from ancient Egypt here. Oh, here we go. We'll try that one. That'll get their attention, right? So you can see that's all it is. You're just building from anything you can imagine to get your lesson in here. Now, I think I'm ready to make it better. So I'm going to need a cover image. So I'm going to choose an image and I'm going to go to Unsplash. Unsplash is nice because they're already determined that they are safe to use and you don't have to worry about copyright issues. And so as teachers, we always like to borrow our images and things and we forget about those copyright issues, and then kids watch us do it and then they do it and they get in trouble later on when they get into college and things, and they have these plagiarism rights. So it's very difficult if they watch us and then yikes. So you can go half image, full image, so you can see what it's going to look like there. And if I do half image, it's going to cut his head off. So I guess I'm going to go full image. Then I can do a background image. So I can do another one from Unsplash. So let's do it again. Does that look like ancient Egypt to you? Sometimes I wonder how they tag these pictures that they come up this way. Oh, come on. Well, all right. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now I have created my collection and I can determine if I want that linear style, or I'm thinking maybe a grid view. But when I do it that way, I think I need to rearrange because my question and my video are not in the right place. So if I move this here, there. Now my question and my video, got a picture and an article. So I can rearrange it, make it look the way I want to, and I can keep adding to it if I want to, but I think I'm good. And now I'm ready to share it. I can share it with my kids. So I go up to my share button. Right here, I turn this on. And if I want to publish it to my profile, now that's what I've done with mine, because anyone could actually come in if they had my Wakelet handle, they could find it. If they had different ways that they could find it, it was because I was published. So, but I really don't want it to be visible to everybody. I just want it for my students. So I might do it differently. I could copy a link and it's on my clipboard. And so I could just give that to my students and they could do that, or I could give it to my parents if I wanted my parents to be involved with this, put it in the newsletter or something like that. I could do that. Or I could give a QR code. I could just post this up and people could look at it that way. I could embed this on my teacher page. If I had a class web page, I could do it that way. So lots of options here. So lots of things here. So you can see you can do all kinds of things here. Here's an embed code if you have to put it to a webmaster to be able to put it into your teacher page. So there's lots of ways there to embed it. If you have Google Classroom, then you could click on it here and it would ask you to choose your class, and then it would put it into your Google Class. And even Microsoft Teams. And I'm not going to click on that because then it'll want me to sign into my my Microsoft Teams, and I don't want to have to go through that. But you can see how versatile this is. You can share it so many different ways. Then, if you didn't just want to publish it, but you wanted some people to actually participate in adding things to this collection, then you could go into collaboration. And so you could copy the link again. There's a join code. And so you would give them this code, or you could copy it and email it to them. And then they could start contributing to this. So this is how students can add their work into a collection. And once again, you could have a QR code, which they could have access to add to a collection. Again, put it into your Google Classroom or your Microsoft Teams classroom. And then if you needed to reset the link and the code, you could reset it and change it up. Oops, wrong one. And you could also you add or edit if you wanted them to be able to add to the collection or edit the collection, then you could do it by email by putting in someone's email address here. So this is where parents, if you wanted them to be able to contribute to something in here, then you could add parents' email addresses in here and be able to invite them to put in information as well. So PTO, this would be great for that, have information there. So that's how easy it is to put together a collection. Again, you saw the different examples, newsletters and reading lists and just tons and tons of ideas that you can use for Wakelets. So I really hope that I have inspired you that maybe you'll give this a try. Again, it's free. It doesn't cost a thing for you to give it a try. And as I mentioned, I will put the PowerPoint up on the website. And let me give you a quick view of some of these things that we have available for you. So on our REC website, we do have Tech Bites, which is what this is a part of. And on the side here, we have multiple links that I wanted to share with you. So this will be the upcoming Tech Bites schedule. We do have all of the RECs in New Mexico. There's majority of them are participating this year in doing some professional development for educators. And so all of the schedule is up for the rest of the year on this link. The archives is where you're going to find the PowerPoints and handouts and things like that. And then we have a video gallery on the RECA website, which is the organization that oversees all of the RECs. This is our YouTube channel where I will post the video. And then RECA has a YouTube channel where all of the participating RECs have a playlist with all of their videos from this year. So I'm going to show you what each of those look like. So the first one, our Tech Bites schedule. We have hours on the left-hand side, and it's kind of sad. The school year is almost over. So we have April and May left for ours, and the registration links here, and then all of the other RECs and their categories and their topics that they have coming up. And then this is going to be the rest of the year for all of the different topics that they have. And this is just your teacher down the hall kind of things. We are not professionals. We're all former teachers ourselves. And some of us aren't even teachers. I have a few people that I pull in to do a couple of sessions, and they're not teachers at all. They just love to share what they know. So it's just like going down the hall to your favorite teacher friend and saying, hey, show me how to do this. So we just want to help each other out. This is the archives, and this is where you're going to find like the PowerPoint and notes for the sessions. And so when I have mine completed, you're going to find mine. I'm trying to scroll down to where we are here. Where's already into April? Where are we here? So I will end up putting the PowerPoint right in here, and you'll be able to have those resources. The links and everything will work there. And then the recorded session, when I get it uploaded to YouTube, you'll have that link right there as well. And this is the RECA website. And so when you go under resources, you're going to see the Tech Bits video gallery, and that will lead you to this page. Now, this is going to be categorized. So if you wanted something specifically for, let's say, Excel, then anyone who's done a video related to Excel, those videos are going to be here. At the end of the day, it's moving a little slow. And so anyone in the RECs that have done something with Excel, those videos are going to be there. This one today will be under miscellaneous. It's going to fall under miscellaneous with different ed tech is going to fall under miscellaneous. So you'll see things there. Again, it's a little bit slow. And then here's our Tech Bites of Southwest REC. This is our YouTube channel. And so all of the ones that we've done this year are going to be in this playlist right here. And then NMRECA has their YouTube channel, and all of the RECs that have contributed this year will have their own playlist showcasing their videos that they have done this year. I apologize, it's running a little slow. Just the end of the day. We all run a little slower, don't we? So here it comes, slowly but surely. There we go. So you'll see the different RECs have their playlists there with all the different videos that they have done. So, all right, I'll stop sharing. And if anyone has any questions about Wakelet or about anything. Oh, Richard, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that you had a question. I hope that hasn't been up there for a terribly long time.
No, I just wanted to know if you're needing documentation for your professional development, the videos that are archived don't have that available, correct?
As far as documentation for watching them?
Yeah, because I've done these before, and I always get a certificate of some sort when I attend live. But I just wanted to clarify, I understood that if you do watch something that's archived on the videotape, that there's not a certificate available for that. Is that correct?
There isn't, but if you can just email me and let me know, hey, I went through this, and can I get a certificate that I participated? I can definitely do that for you. For
today's session or for the archived ones?
Even the archived ones, because I can go into YouTube analytics and I can see that people have watched it. And so if you just tell me on this date I did this, I can validate that.
Super. All right, thank you. So do I need to request a certificate from you for today?
Yes. If you would just email me, and let me just stick my email in the chat for you, and that way I can do that for you.
All right.
There you go. Just email me, give me, that way I have your email address. Just let me know you need a certificate, and I will be glad to do that for you.
All right. Well, that just opens up the door to a whole bunch that are available then. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
yes. And I'm sure with the other RECs, they would be open to that as well. I know REC 9, because they've been doing this for so
Mhm.
many years, they have it built in to where it just automatically generates it.
Oh, okay.
And so I just haven't done it that long. And so I haven't got it automatically built in. So,
All right. Well, thank you very much.
oh, yes, yes.
I have to confess that I thought I was attending something that was called Wavelet. And
Oh,
this turned out to be a lot more useful than what
well,
I thought I
good.
was getting. Thank you.
Well, good. I hope that you enjoyed it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we hope that you will stop by and see us again and take advantage of some of those other resources that we have out there as well. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, then I will give you back the rest of your day, and we hope to see you again real soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you also, Myra, for joining us, and hope you join us again.